Hello and welcome everyone. Myself Bhagyashree. Today we are going to continue our topic, that is illustrations of CMA final paper number 14 SFM. Topic is portfolio management. Today we will solve illustration number 21. An investor holds two stocks, that is X and Y. An analyst prepare the X ante probability distribution for the possible economic scenarios, okay, and the conditional return for the two stock and the market index as shown below. So basically information is given about two stock, that is X and Y. First of all, economic scenario is given, that is growth stage, then stagnation stage and recession stage, okay. So these are like cases, okay. After that probability is given, then conditional returns, it means returns are given for X stock, Y stock and market return, okay. So what is asking the question, that is the risk free rate during the next year is expected to be around 9%. So risk free rate, it means it is RF, that is 9%. Determine whether an investor should liquidate his holding in the stock X and Y, okay, or on a contrary make a fresh investment in them. Okay, so basically decision making we have to do, that investor should hold it or sell it or it buy it, okay. So we have to give the recommendation for that to that investor, okay. CAPM assumptions are holding true, okay. So CAPM assumption based this question, okay. So let's start. First of all, we have to go for कैलकुलेशन ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन, ओके. स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन का कैलकुलेशन हम लोग को पहले करना है एंड एक्सपेक्टेड रिटर्न, ओके, बिकॉज वी हैव टू डू द कंपैरिजन in the expected return and estimated return as per CAPM, okay. So basically for that comparison we need expected return, okay. After that, in case of CAPM, the formula is RF plus beta RM minus RF. So we required RF, which is given in the question, but we don't have any beta. So for beta calculation we require standard deviation, because without standard deviation we cannot find out beta. So that's why even though standard deviation is not asked in the question, then also we have to find out the standard deviation also, okay. So let's start. First of all, this is for stock X, so we will find out the expected return and standard deviation of stock X. After that, same way stock Y, and after that for market, okay. So this is the basic calculation which we have seen already in the many of the questions. So first of all, economic scenario which is given in the question, I have written in short. After that, probability which is also given in the question, and these are the returns of X, okay. So scenario, probability and returns, like that I have written for Y and market also, okay. So basically now return and probability is given, so just multiply this, so we will get the expected return, okay. So 25 multiplied by 0.4, that is 10. After that 10 multiplied by 0.3, that is 3. 5, but which is in minus, multiplied by 0.3, so we'll get minus 1.5. So just take a total 10 plus 3 plus 1.5, which is in minus, so I am getting 11.5. So 11.5, okay, is the total. So this total is called as expected return. So I am getting expected return, that is 11.5 या फिर 11.50, okay. So 11.50 is the expected return. Now I have to go for deviation. So deviation is nothing but return minus expected return. So my return is 25 minus my expected return is 11.5. So I am getting 13.5 as a deviation, okay. After that 10 minus 11.5, it is minus 1.5. 5 which is in minus, minus 11.5, that is minus 16.5. After getting deviation, we have to go for deviation square, okay. So 13.5 ka square, that is 182.25, okay. After that 1.5 which is in minus, square 2.25. 16.5 which is in minus ka square, that is 272.25, okay. After getting deviation square, we have to multiply this by probability. So 182.25 multiplied by probability is 0.4, okay. So 72.9. After that 2.25 multiplied by probability is 0.3, so 0.675. After that 272.25 multiplied by probability is 0.3, so I am getting 81.67, 0.675. okay, I'm not rounding off because only 3 decimal places are there, so if you want you can round it off. Okay, after that we'll take a total 72.9 plus 0.675 plus 81.675. so I'm getting variance. Okay, so variance is 155.25. so just take a root, so we'll get standard deviation, that is 12 point here. Due to this 9, this 5 will become 6. So 12.46. Okay. So now we will go for y. So here scenario, probability and returns are given. Okay. Now return multiplied by probability. So return is 20 multiplied by 0.4. I am getting 8. Okay. After that 15 multiplied by 0.3. I am getting 4.5. 8 which is in minus multiplied by 0.3, I am getting minus 2.4. so just take a total 8 plus 4.5 plus 2.4 which is in minus, so I am getting 10 point, okay, 0 is not there but I am just writing 10.10. so this is called as expected return. So 10.10 is my expected return. Now I have to go for deviation. So return minus expected return. Return is 20 minus expected is 10.1. so that is 9.9. okay, so you can directly take a square and then multiply by probability, that is also okay, but I am just going column wise. okay, you can directly now take a square and then multiply by probability किया तो भी चलेगा. ठीक है. So 15 minus 10.10 that is 4.9. 8 minus 10.1 that is minus 18.10 because it was minus 8. okay, now 9.9 square, it is 98.01. 4.9 square, it is 24.01. 18.10 square, it is 327.61. so just multiplied by probability, 98.01 multiplied by probability is 0.4, 39.204. 24.01 multiplied by probability is 0.3, 7.203. 327.61 multiplied by probability is 0.3, 98.283. just take a total, so we'll get a variance 39.204 plus 7.203 plus 98.283. so I am getting variance, that is 144.69. okay, now this is my standard deviation for y, 12.0. due to this 8, this 2 will become 3, so 12.03. okay, now last part, that is market. okay, market, for that economic scenario is given, probability and returns are given, just multiply. so return multiplied by probability 7.2, return multiplied by probability 3.9, return which is in minus multiplied by my probability is 0.3, so minus 0.9. just take a total, so 7.2 plus 3.9 plus 0.9 which is in minus, so it is 10.20. okay, so this is my expected return, that is 10.20. now we have to go for deviation. so return is 18 minus my expected return is 10.20, so I am getting 7.8. okay, as a deviation. After that 13 minus 10.20, I am getting 2.8. 3 which is in minus 10.2, I am getting minus 13.20. okay, now just take a square, that is 7.8 square is 60.84. 2.8 square is 7.84. 13.20 square is 174.24. now just multiplied by probability, so 60.84 multiplied by 0.4, it is 24.336. 7.84 multiplied by probability is 0.3, it is 2.352. after that 174.24 multiplied by probability is 0.3, so I am getting 52.272. okay, so just take a total, will get a variance. okay, so 24.336 plus 2.352 plus 52.272. So I am getting variance, that is 78.96. Now this is my standard deviation of market. So due to this 5, this 8 will become 9. So my standard deviation is 8.89. Okay. So I am getting standard deviation of market, that is 8.89. So here I have completed expected return and particular standard deviation, okay, for X, Y and market. But we don't want that, we want return as per CAPM, okay, for comparison. So we will go for calculation of return as per CAPM now. See, for return as per CAPM, we want beta and we don't have any beta, so that's why we have to go for calculation of variance first of all. So calculation of variance in case of stock X and market, okay, because variance we have to calculate for that particular stock and market, so that's why X and market, and here Y and market. So we know that for variance, that is covariance, sorry, for covariance we want deviation of X, deviation of M, okay, then probability. So this multiplication will give us covariance of X and M, like that deviation of Y, deviation of market, then probability, that multiplication will give us covariance of Y and market, okay. So simply I will copy now all these things from the earlier table, okay. So here deviation of X and deviation of market, okay, we will use in the first table, and probability is same in all the cases. After that deviation of Y and deviation of market we will use in second table, and probability is also same. After that, in case in the formula of beta, we require covariance of X and M, covariance of Y and M, okay, and standard deviation of market. So this is the standard deviation of market, okay, just remember this, I will use it later. So first of all we have to concentrate on this table. So deviation of X I have copied, then deviation of market and probability, just multiply, okay. So 13.5 multiplied by 7.8 multiplied by 0.4. So I am getting 42.12. 1.5 but which is in minus, multiplied by 2.8 multiplied by 0.3. So I am getting minus 1.26. 16.5 which is in minus, multiplied by 13.2 which is in minus, multiplied by 0.3, okay. So I am getting 65.34, okay. Now just take a total, 42.12 plus 1.26 which is in minus plus 65.34, okay. So I am getting 106.20 as a covariance of X and M, okay. Next, division of Y, division of market, probability and multiplication, okay. So 9.9 multiplied by 7.8 multiplied by 0.4. So I am getting 30.888. 4.9 multiplied by 2.8 multiplied by 0.3, I am getting 4.116. 18.10 which is in minus, multiplied by 13.20 also in minus, multiplied by 0.3. So I am getting 71.676, okay. Just take a total, 30.888 plus 4.116 plus 71.676. So I am getting 106.68, okay. So I am getting 106.68. Here I got covariances of particular security and market, okay. So just go for beta, we want only beta, so that we will calculate the CAPM, okay. So beta, covariance of XM. See, for the calculation of beta we are having three choices, that is three formulas. First is correlation, but we don't have any correlation, so we have to go for second formula, and this second formula is a short, we have written in a short. So this formula is better because here calculation will be more, okay. We can use this also, but calculation will increase, so that's why we are using this one, okay. So formula we have seen, covariance of X and M which we have calculated just now, that is 106.20 divided by standard deviation of market I have shown you just 5 minutes earlier. So that is 8.89 which we had calculated. So 8.89 square, okay. Here 106.20 divided by 8.89 square, okay, that is 79.0321, okay. It means this is a variance of market. See, variance of market. so we can directly use this variance, then also it's okay, because of rounding off the calculation may differ. See here 79.0321, okay, so it is better to use the variance, because from that variance only we have calculated the standard deviation of market, so it is better to use directly variance. Okay, so I am using variance, so don't get confused. Variance was 78.96. okay, so here finally I'll get a beta, so 106.2 divided by 78.96, so I'm getting beta, that is 1.34. okay, 2 decimal, up to 2 decimal, so 1.34. Now for second one, that is security Y, so covariance is 106.68 divided by 8.89, that is standard deviation of market square, so that square is nothing but the variance. okay, variance of market, so variance is 78.96, so I'll get a beta here, 106.68 divided by 78.96. okay, so I am getting beta 1.35. okay, 1.35. so finally I got a beta 1.34 and 1.35. now we have to go for the calculation of CAPM. okay, so CAPM formula, expected return of x and y, CAPM formula I have written, and RF is given in the question after that box, that is 9%. so here RF is 9, beta of x, it was 1.34 which we had calculated, and return of market, that is expected return of the market which we had calculated. okay, see this is the expected return of market, that is RM 10.20. okay, so we have to use that RM in the formula of CAPM. okay, so here 10.20, okay, minus RF is 9, so let's check. 10.2 minus 9 multiplied by 1.34 plus 9. okay, so I am getting round off. okay, 10.61. 10.61. in case of Y, RF is 9, beta is 1.35, RM 10.20, RF is 9, 10.2 minus 9 multiplied by 1.35 plus 9, so I am getting 10.62. 10.62. okay, so now we have to give the decision. okay, so investment decision, estimated return and expected return as per CAPM. okay, estimated return, it means which we had calculated in that table. okay, so let's check. See, expected return, that is estimated return only, and here expected return of Y. okay, so these are the estimated return, यानी कि जो भी हम लोग ने कैलकुलेट किया था वो वाला, so 11.50 and 10.10. okay, so here estimated return which we had calculated 11.50% and here 10.10. okay, sorry, 10%, and here expected return as per CAPM just calculated 10.61% and here 10.62%. okay, so now recommendation and reason. okay, so recommendation means buy, hold or a sale. okay, so first of all, in case of stock X, estimated return is 11.50, it means we can get such a percentage of return in the next year, and expected return is only 10.61, so we will get the better. okay, so we'll get the better returns. सी इधर क्या हुआ है, एस्टिमेटेड रिटर्न हम लोग का ज़्यादा है, मतलब नेक्स्ट ईयर हम लोग को इतना मिल सकता है, और एक्सपेक्टेड तो हम लोग का कम था एज पर CAPM, सो बेटर मिल सकता है ना हम लोग को. सो इट इज़ बेटर टू बाय और होल्ड. अगर आपके पास नहीं है तो बाय करो, अगर आपके पास है वो स्टॉक तो आपको होल्ड करना चाहिए. ओके, सो माई रिकमेंडेशन विल बी आइदर बाय or hold. okay, but in the case of stock Y, estimated return is 10.10, it means we will get the such return in the next year 10.10. okay, but expected return as per CAPM is more, it means expectation is more but we are getting less, so it's of no use, so that's why we will sell. okay, we will sell the stock. See, इसमें क्या हुआ है कि हम लोग को मिल रहा है कम और हमारा एक्सपेक्टेशन ज़्यादा है, सो एक्सपेक्टेशन से अगर कम मिल रहा है तो उसका कुछ भी यूज़ नहीं है, इसके लिए हम लोग को ये क्या करना चाहिए, सेल करना चाहिए. सो दिस इज़ द रिकमेंडेशन. ओके, देन why we are giving such kind of recommendation, so we have to mention the reason. First of all, see, this stock is underpriced and this stock is overpriced. It means here we are getting more but we are expecting less, so this stock is underpriced. Okay, stock X is underpriced, मतलब हम लोग को मिल रहा है ज़्यादा लेकिन हम लोग सोच रहे हैं कम. ओके, मतलब हम लोग का एक्सपेक्टेशन कम है और इधर हम लोग को मिल रहा है कम और हम लोग का एक्सपेक्टेशन ज़्यादा है. सो हियर वी आर गेटिंग लेस एंड वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग मोर. इट मीन्स दिस इज ओवर प्राइस्ड. सो स्टॉक Y is overpriced. Okay, stock Y is overpriced. So this is the reason. So here we have completed question number 21. See, let's check the answer. See, everything is correct. So here we have completed illustration number 21.